Yo, King 2020, back at it again. I'm going to bring you the breakdown from Metropolitan Scene. This is an upcoming single from my new album, These Streets, coming out Thursday. So I hope you guys like it. Let's get into this track. I actually started this whole track with the drums. Already a lot going on, but at the time I was also trying to emulate a lot of Tom York. I was listening to a lot of Radiohead. He takes his voice and he makes it percussive, so he just adds himself into the tracks without you even really noticing it. So I added my voice in as a percussive element with the rest of the drums. Without them, it sounds pretty good, but it's just not moving the track the same way. Then, the next thing that I was working on, really dope bass line. And then there are added in little tiny bass notes that hit on the side every once in a while, like this. So that in conjunction with the bass sounds like this. It's just nice. It breaks up, the feel of the bass line just ever so slightly. Next, I added in vocals, but I knew that I didn't really want anything super specific. So I sang melodies, sang random words that just came into my head. I just kind of freestyled everything. There's no real purpose for them, or they just sound good. And then added this part in right after that with them. So these are those working together with the bass line and the drums. Then I started adding in guitars, and this is where things started to get interesting because I kind of felt that it was like building up to a chorus. All the tracks that I made for this entire album just kind of started as smaller ideas, and then I just was building them out. I was just sequencing them, like what comes next, and to me, there needed to be some kind of guitars. This is it with everything. So the chorus kind of builds up with the bass line and everything, and there's a riser, and we go right into the guitars. And on top of that, I added a synth and a sitar sample that I found on Splice. In this next part, I just had like kind of more variation on the same singing idea that I had earlier. Just more vocals kind of singing gibberish. And then next I had this arpeggiator that kind of moved everything in, heading into the chorus and then the ending. So that builds back up and kind of drops out, and then we go into a second version of the chorus. But right after that chorus, I just kind of had this idea where I was like, well, what if it breaks out of 5/4 and it actually heads back into 4/4 again with the rest of the album? And I came up with sort of like a variation on the bass line, but just doing it straight up in 4/4. And then this next section was just kind of a combination of the original drums, from the beginning with additional loops, and there's like an outro synth. Then we have outro vocals at the very end that kind of close out the track with everything. So. When you thought it could be Yeah, that's it. That's the track. That's the whole thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. These Streets coming out Thursday. Fucking check that shit out, bitch. I'm out.